fellow indoor golfers. In this week's edition of Gerald's Corner, we're going to talk about the Skytrak launch monitor, how to set it up, how to connect it, and we'll later on interpret some of the numbers and get an idea what they mean and how they'll help you in your game. So I have it off right now, and we can literally just start from here. Obviously, I've got mine connected as it is already. So first thing is turn it on. The power button is on the left side of the Skytrak. Just gotta give it a second to connect. Then what you'll do is you'll come to your iPad, and I've got these two apps. There's a Skytrak app and a WGT Golf app. Those would be the apps that you download when you get your Skytrak. You'll insert your member number and stuff like that into it. There's a card that'll come in your Skytrak that'll have your member number on it. So I'm going to open the Skytrak app first. Let's exit my previous session so we can get to the home screen. Right now you can see it's connected in network mode, and you see that on the bottom icon in the middle of the screen. And this is your home screen on the Skytrak app. So you've got your practice, your challenge, and your game improvement stuff that you can look at. The challenge would be closest to the pin, longest drive, target practice, which is great stuff for practice. If we go back, the game improvement would be your bag mapping, so you can get an idea of how far you hit each club. It'll help you with that. The skills assessment is kind of a test to test exactly where you're at in your game, and that'll help you learn, little things like where you struggle. Is it long irons? Is it short game? Is it driver? That'll help you with that. And then the wedge matrix is really cool because it helps you understand more of the distances of your wedges and stuff like that, and helps you more of a bag mapping kind of thing as well. For today's purposes, for setting up, we're going to go to practice first. So we hit practice, let it load. We are connected. You can see, I'm not standing in the video right now, but you can see on the ground there's a little red dot. I don't want to block the camera, but there's a little red dot right here, and that laser is coming from the Skytrak to signify where you place the ball. So the best thing to do is to place the ball slightly behind that, because it seems to read better when you do that. And then the other thing I'll say about Skytrak and setting it up is they allow for 5 degrees of variance for it to be pointed right or left. It's been my experience since having one of these or using one of these for a long time. We'll say that you definitely want to, I've only seen it have to point to the left a little bit, let's say that. So we'll take a picture of that and put it in the video so you can see how much left I actually have it pointed in order to get it straight. I did mark my mat to see that, but I'm going to show you how to really test it and dial it in so we can go from there and give you a better sense. So we'll start. Anytime you put a ball up, you want to take the logo of the ball. Here I'm using a TaylorMade Pix ball with all these little triangles on it, but it says TaylorMade. You're going to take that TaylorMade, you're going to set it vertically on the ground right behind the dot. Now, at this point, my Skytrak is actually square. So I'm going to show you what happens when I set it up square, and I'll hit a normal shot, and we'll go from there so you can see how big a hook this can be. So it's pretty solid. It would have been a little baby draw, maybe about 10-yard draw probably for me. But you see on the screen, if I get out of the way, that was like, that was a monster draw. In fact, that started 2 degrees left, which isn't normal for me. I usually start 4 or 5 degrees to the right, and that's the side angle. But that's what happens when it's square. So the way to test that is slowly move it in, and I have my mat marked, so I know exactly where it's going to be. But I'll move it in a little bit, hit another shot, test it again, and see how big it goes. That would have been pretty straight. I'll still draw because it's me, but you can see once again that reads as a gigantic draw. So if it's going that much left consistently, at least it's back to 2 degrees to the right. But if it's going that much left consistently, it's not geared for the side spin and the launch direction. So I marked my mat. I've got it about 5 degrees to the left that I'll set it, and I'll readjust the laser a little bit. We'll hit one more just to make sure it's straight, and then I'll show you how to test that. Ooh, little towy, so that'll have a little bit of hook on it. No, I didn't catch it anyway. Good. Thank you, Skytrak. It was a mishit. It's not great on mishits, I will tell you that, which is not always a bad thing because then it doesn't see your garbage shots. That should be pretty straight. Still a little bit of hook. Still a big hook. Let's try one more time. Early mornings. Gerald's hook is evident. There we go. There it is. It only took me 4 shots to get there. So that's the ticket. So there's my 6-degree right angle. Means Gerald's swinging way too far inside out currently. 1200 RPMs of side spin. That's a lot, way too much. But that was a good shot. I would expect that to do exactly what it did, actually, even distance-wise and stuff. 7-iron for me is about a 175 to 180 carry. So let's try to hit a cut and go from there, just to make sure that we are dialed in. Big old slice. Little block, cut, shank, quasi. So we know to read garbage shots too, from time to time, especially those. All right, so next piece. To test it, just to make sure that it is straight, we'll go back to the middle point where it's square. And what you'll do to test this is you'll set up tees like I have set up on the mat. You got these 2 white tees basically in a straight line for me on my mat. It's not straight to the projector, but it's straight from my mat. And you'll just hit little chip shots, trying to fly the ball over those 2 tees to get a straight shot. And you see how that went left. That tells me that the Skytrak is pointed too far to the right. And that was significant because that was straight. So there's my 5-degree side angle. That's about how far off it is 5 degrees. So we'll turn this thing to 5 degrees. Grab the ball. And we'll do it again. That might be 1 degree to the right. Yeah, so 1 degree to the right. But now I know it's square, and we can go from there. So that would be Skytrak setup in an easy sense from the practice range and how to make sure that it's square. I did mark my mat with a marker once I got it set up right so that I know exactly where it's going to go every time, and I can just set the front edge of that Skytrak on there. And the other thing I want to note with this, if I can find my legs, oh, here they are. The protective case comes with these legs, and this helps raise or lower your Skytrak. So if on this mat, this is a 2.5-inch mat, if I didn't have this extra space, I would use the legs to elevate the Skytrak to get it the same level. Because this mat is one piece and it's level. It's our SIG Pro mat we talked about last time. I don't need these legs to get it level. I took the legs completely out, and now the protective case is level with the playing field. You can do that on a fiber-built mat or a True Strike mat as well. Just take the legs out and let it sit there. If you don't have a mat that has enough space for the Skytrak, then you use the legs. Otherwise, take them out. All right. So let's check out some of this other stuff. So exit button is the top right-hand corner that looks like almost like a pause button. You can hit that, exit session. We'll show you the WGT app really quick too. But first I'm going to click on the little icon on the bottom. This is how you connect. So you've got several different modes. You got the USB mode, which is direct connect, direct plug into the computer or your PC. If you have a lightning adapter with the USB, I imagine you could probably connect it to an iPad, but I've never tested that to see. But it works with the PC. It works great with the PC if you have a gaming PC and like you're running TGC or something. I usually connect in network mode and run it through the Wi-Fi in my building so that I can actually still use WGT. If you're just in a barn or you just want to practice or you don't have Wi-Fi, then you'll have to connect in direct mode. Direct mode will allow you to run the Skytrak app, but not the WGT app. So if you want to run WGT and play golf, you have to connect in the network mode itself and run off of that. So let's do this real quick. So you see the Skytrak app, right next to that is the WGT app. It's got a golf ball with a club behind it. That's the second app you'll have to download. So we'll bring that up. This thing's actually awesome. The courses are awesome. The bad part about it is it's only single player and it only has 12 courses. Now the 12 courses are fantastic, but there are different things you can do with this. It does have driving ranges and stuff on it as well. So I don't need any special offers. Thank you very much. Let's go to game modes. You got stroke play. This is obviously solo. You can pick your golf course. You go to stat. You've got Wolf Creek, Pebble Beach, Kiowa, St. Andrews, the best of Bandon Par 3, which is actually pretty cool. Edgewood Tahoe. Great old course up in Tahoe. If you haven't played that, go play it. It's fantastic. Congressional, Chambers Bay, one of my favorite courses in the world outside of Bandon. Erin Hills, Bethpage Black, Oakmont, Marion, Pinehurst number 2, Celtic Manor, where they played the Ryder Cup a few years ago, 2010. Lanai Challenge, and then the Olympic Club. 18 at Olympic, one of the most iconic holes in golf. I love that place. Let's see what we do here. Where are we going to play? Let's check out Pebble Beach. Everybody asks about Pebble Beach. And we'll just do the random 3 holes real quick. We'll change the tees to my championship tees so that it's really difficult. Green speed standard. We'll go from there. So I'm just going to play one hole real quick. This is... what hole is this? I can't remember what number this is. 7, 6, 7, 5, 11 or 12 maybe. So I'm going to hit a driver because I have a 16 to 18 mile an hour wind in my face. Get my ball. Wind will affect it. Now with the driver, you're going to basically, on the SIG Pro mats, it's great because you can just use a real tee and put it in the same place you would hit with an iron. I'll put a picture up with a fiber built mat where you would place the laser so that you can still use a driver without moving the Skytrak. But for today's purposes, obviously, we're just going to put the tee back there, put the ball on it. I hit a hook, so hopefully we don't miss it. 220, we'll say that's good in an 18 mile an hour wind. This can be fun. Well, driver's not going to work because I'm going to hit a light. So we'll be careful. We'll choke up on a driver. And we'll top it. Space restrictions. So it looks like we get to play a hole with a 7-iron today. Into an 18 mile an hour wind. That'll be fun. Hopefully, this won't be too difficult. 90 yards. Knock down a little sandwich here, huh? Don't hook too much, ball. Oh, perfect. Here's another question we get all the time. How do we hit out of the sand? So bunker shots on these things are fun. This is a buried lie. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you can actually see it says bunker. 60 to 70% lie. So it's going to take off 30% of my power, which at 12 yards, that's a lot, right? So I'm probably going to have to hit this more like a 20-yard shot in order to get it there. But I'll do the same thing. I'll open the face a little bit and then just hit a normal little splash shot out of there. Too much. Off the cliff. Out of bounds. So we get to hit it again. Fun. That wind is ripping there. All right. So we're on the green. This is going to be a nice quadruple or something. Playing golf in rush mode is not very fun. All right, so for putting, you got a choice when you land on the greens. You can putt away or you can accept the strokes. We'll putt away at least one putt first and then kind of go through this a little bit. So if you've ever played Tiger Woods on PlayStation or Xbox or something like that, you're used to seeing this grid. If not, I'll tell you that the colors change. So the blue colors are mild break. The red color on the left is a lot of break. And then you see the little beads going across the screen. That'll really tell you how much break or how fast that break's going to be. So this putt is downhill 0.6 inches. It's 21 feet. So it's probably going to run about a 21-foot putt, but it's going to break. So I'm going to move the cursor to compensate for that break. And this is not an exact science by any means, but it's pebble. So I know that these greens break a lot. And you're going to putt from the same place that you hit a ball. So 21 feet. We're going to try to hit it 21 feet. That was a little firm. And it broke a lot. So distance, maybe a little bit too much. But that's the hard part, is trying to figure out the line. And that's something you learn over time. So there's your example for the holes. Graphics are awesome. I love the graphics on this program. So let's exit back out of that. Boom, boom, boom. Bring back the Skytrak app and see if we can reconnect. And I want you to notice it does take a minute to reconnect just because it's running through a Wi-Fi connection. So it'll take it a minute. And anytime you struggle with it, my tip would be turn everything off, iPad included, and start over again. Just to let everything reset a little bit. But I think that's about all we have. Any more questions or anything, post them in the comments. We'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can. And then, obviously you can always give us a call or send us an email to sales@shopindoorgolf.com, and we'll try to help you the best we can. Thank you.